Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Sedona Psychics podcast here in Sedona, Arizona. This is kind of where we're getting into the nitty-gritty of things, pretty much where intuition's going to start getting loud and life's going to get more magical for yourself. So, hey, let's work it. Today I have Mr. Geoffrey with me. He is going to be going into his palmistry, his crystals, and other modalities that he uses during his sessions as well. So again, we're even going to do a little sample for you guys as well too. So this is going to be fun. So say hi to the people, Geoffrey.
Hello, everyone. I'm Geoffrey. Really happy to be here back on the Sedona podcast. The Sedona Psychics podcast. I guess we'll just get right in the beginning, the tongue tiedness.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking forward to what we're talking about today. A lot of stuff that I like to do.
Yay, yay. So starting out, we're going to kind of jump into palmistry a little bit.
Okay.
So as somebody who's in this field, I feel like palmistry and like the older types of divination are kind of slowly fading away. And it seems like a lot of people are possibly starting to bring that back as well too.
I think it's a lot like everything in life, like it ebb and flows. I'm sure bell-bottom jeans will be back in a little while too.
Oh, there are.
Talking about, but palmistry is definitely like one of the ones where there's very few people out there that actually do it, and there's even fewer people that actually do it well. Being a palmist myself, like I've seen people that do palmistry and I've gone on to get readings from, and I was kind of like, okay, that was different.
Mm-hmm.
But it's palmistry has been around. It's one of the oldest styles of divination because it's one of those ones like you had to think back in the days, like there wasn't tarot cards unless you could afford paper to make your own.
Yeah.
And so and draw your own cards. But palmistry has always been one of these things, especially like in the gypsy cultures, where it's like you always have something you can use as a tool to read.
Right.
And so it's been around a long time. And here's the other thing that a lot of people don't know about is like not only can you read palms, you can read people's eyes. You
Mm-hmm.
can read people's feet, the lines on their feet. You could also read other parts of people's bodies too. And then there's a name for all of it, but this has been around for a long time. It's been in the ancient Greeks. It's been around with the Egyptians. It's even been in like the Asian cultures as well. Even in for certain Aztec industries, like they're always reading seers who could read certain parts of the body. And I think people that are doing it today are definitely doing it from some kind of past life energy as well.
Right. Well, of course, me going into the gutter, as you were saying, like people can even read the lines on your feet.
Yeah.
I go to, oh Lord, the people who have feet fetish.
Like you'd be surprised. Like there's certain ways to read the eyes. There's certain ways to read the nipples on people. It actually represents a lot of chakra energy as well.
Well, that's interesting. I didn't know it went that far.
Yeah. I had a past life vision of myself as a Spartan knight, and there's a woman who was reading men's genitalia as people were getting off to go into like continue to march on. People were like, Dynakes, are you going to do this? I'm like, no, we don't have time for that. But it's definitely like one of those things. It's like there's been modalities around it in a lot of different ways for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Like when it comes like getting back to like out of the gutter real quick.
Got to keep things interesting.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. But it's true. This is,
Yeah.
you can look these up. Like, I don't know all the names of them right now, but going back to palms, the one thing I really like about palms is all your own energy. It's not using anybody else's card. It's not using any like the seer or the reader's energy. It's like, it's all your own energy. And so when I read palms, I read both hands. I read both sides. Like I definitely check like fingernails for help and things like that because there's a lot that can be told to that. And definitely like why I always read both palms is your non-dominant hand is like the blueprint for your life. It's like how your spirit guides, the universe and divine expect things to work out for you. And then your dominant hand's like how the game's actually being played. And so the other really cool thing that I like about palms a lot is unlike your fingerprints, which can kind of tell like if you're fire, earth, or water sign, are kind of in that aspect based on how the waves go in your fingerprints. But the lines on your palms can actually change over time based on what you're doing. Short story, really quick. I was doing a palm reading for a gentleman in Minneapolis, really well off guy, like hand stitched Italian shoes, like really nice suit, Rolex watch. And I was like, you're missing all these lines of connections over here on your palm. And he's like, and I'm like, I'm actually having a vision. I'm like, you're like in the woods, chopping wood, little A-frame cabin. He's like, this is BS. I don't believe in any of this. I'm like, hey, if you're not happy, you don't have to pay. And then about a year later, I was out to eat in downtown Minneapolis, and this guy literally ran across the street because he saw me. Almost got hit by a car. Like, what was on the grill? Like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. And he comes running up to me, and just slaps a bunch of money in my hand. He's like, I am so sorry for the way I acted. I recognized him right away. And he's like, let me explain. I come from a very well-off family. I never had to do physical labor before. When you said I was chopping wood, I thought you were making fun of me. He's like, now I own 7 different wood chopping axes. I got that apron cabin and that muddy Jeep. Because this is the first time in my life I've actually been doing things for myself. And because I'm chopping so much wood, the lines in my palms are changing. And those connections that you say I was making are now lining up, and I'm happier than I've ever been. So that's one of the cool things about working with palmistry is you can see, like, am I talking with my spirit guides? Am I tapping into my intellect? Am I being creative right now? You can actually see if you're starting to work towards those things.
Right.
And so that's one of the cool things about palms. It's like a lot of people, especially in today's age, they're like, am I tapping into my spirituality? Am I figuring this out? Like, am I making any progress? It's like if you look on your palm and if you keep track of it, yes, I actually am self-satisfied out of that.
Good job, me.
Exactly. So, and there's like palms can be a really good way to let you know where waypoints are in your life.
Right.
And it was like, there's definitely times like where I've been looking at the heart and health line. I've been like, did you just kind of go through some stuff? Like
Yeah.
health wise? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, don't worry. It was just a wake up call. So you'd like redirect yourself.
Right.
And I'm like, don't worry. You're not going to have anything else until you're almost in your 80s again. And they're like, okay, thank God. It's like this. So there's like cool things where you can just kind of like see things in people's palms. It's like not only you just reading where the lines are, you're reading like the intensity of the line. Is it deep? Is it like, because those are usually people that are really serious.
Mm-hmm.
Is it deep and wide? Those are people who are serious but can be open. There's some people who are just kind of like, it's very fake lines. It's like they're very much going to be more a light-hearted individual in that aspect, depending on where that line is.
Right.
So you can also read a lot of people's personality traits based on how the lines are on the palm.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that I do, which is one of the things I've noticed that a lot of other palm readers don't do very much, is I'll read all the mounts on the hands as well.
Right.
So, you read lines, you also read the mounts. So underneath like each finger, there is a mount. Okay. In that it represents something different. And a lot of them relate very closely to certain chakras that we all have with as well.
Yeah, and show the camera what you mean by mountains. So like put your hand up to the camera and kind of point to like
So
what you're talking about.
underneath your pointer finger right here, it's referred to as your mount of Jupiter. So that is your leadership. This is going to represent your third eye a lot
Mm-hmm.
and kind of the thoughts that you're putting out. Underneath your middle finger is referred to as your mount of Saturn. So that is your scholar. So that's going to be like your intellect, your thoughts, kind of things like that, kind of what that goes. It also deals a little bit with the third eye as well, kind of almost a little bit more than the mount of Jupiter.
Mm-hmm.
But then underneath your ring finger is the mount of Apollo or Temple of Apollo. It kind of that deals a lot with the sacral chakra. So that is your creativity, that is your artistry, that's your passion, that's your joys. So, and then like underneath your pinky is the amount of Mercury, and that is your communicator. So that's going to be very much your throat chakra. So a lot of times, especially off the line of fate or line of destiny, you'll see certain little like dot, 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 dot. And it's kind of like you can see how people's spirit guides are trying to communicate it, but they're being stubborn about it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of those lines that you can pay attention to as it starts to grow. As you start like working with your spirit guide more, asking them for help, asking them for guidance, things like that. You can start to see that line strengthen. Or like you're starting doing more of those passion projects or creative projects. You're starting to paint or do archery or ride horseback, things that you've never done before. You're holding your hands different. You'll start to see the lines in the palms change in that way as well.
Yeah. Well, this is an interesting take because I feel the way that you're describing how you do palmistry, which again, guys, there's no right or wrong way that you do things. It's however feels right for you. Okay. But I like how that you're able to also kind of pick up on like the spirit guide aspect of that as well, and not just like, oh, your heart line, your fate line, and all of that. You go deeper into it as far as like even communicating with your spirit guides and things like that.
It depends on where things are on the palm. For sure. And sometimes like I'm going over people's lines and I'm not getting much. And there's other times when I'm getting full on visions of this is what you need to do, or this is who's trying to talk to you. And sometimes like I tap into past lives as well while I'm doing it.
Mhm.
But like one of the things that I pay attention to on palms is X's. X's are important on palms.
Marks the spot.
Like I got a pirate map.
Yeah.
And so I look for crosses, I look for stars, I look for X's. And so those are usually like serious waypoints in a life, especially when you're actually on your destiny, when you're on your spiritual pilgrimage, when you're on your path. That's when the X's really start to line up. And so it's kind of like when you see like just a free floating X, it's like you haven't accessed that gift yet. You haven't started working with that guy. You haven't started that cycle in your life yet. And so like I teach people a lot about quantum jumping as well and karmic contracts based off of palms. Because sometimes you see like the lifeline that just comes down here and hooks all the way around and around,
Mhm.
and there's no like line of fate or line of destiny. Like those are the new souls on planet Earth. Nothing wrong with that, but they're like, I want to grow up, I want to fall in love, I want to have babies, but when my babies to drop it, I have babies, but I'm gonna die. It's like, okay, new soul, you're here. You're just probably first couple times being a human being on planet Earth.
All right, first time.
But that's new soul energy. I'm a strong believer that, especially to be here on Earth, because I think we're a keystone planet in the universe,
Mhm.
and that
It's Earth school.
exactly like we signed up for everything that happens to us while we're here. And so for me, that I refer to that as a karmic contract. And so a karmic contract's like you're hanging out in the afterlife, whatever that you might think that might be.
Mhm.
And your angels or your spirit guides or your ancestors are coming up to you like, hey, Emma, we got some stuff going down on planet Earth and you are perfect to take care of this. So if you take care of this, and this, we will reward you with this, and this.
Uh-huh.
And so, like when it comes to a karmic contract, what a lot of people end up doing is just constantly taking care of the bad stuff.
Mhm.
And they don't realize that as part of that contract, you have to get all your rewards. And if you don't complete your karmic contract in its entirety, you have to repeat the whole life all over again.
Lord, get it right the first time, y'all.
Like I have been with people like I'm like, did everything feel like Groundhog Day with you? They're like, yeah. I'm like, because this is the 50th time you've lived this life because you never left your partner.
Yeah. Or you're not learning what you're supposed to learn.
Exactly.
I mean, it's kind of the same thing like when we just do regular sessions. Like, really, it's like you're going to sit here and repeat the same cycle over and over again until you learn.
And that's one of the things I like about palms is it lets you know if you're breaking the cycle. So
Okay.
that's where quantum jumping comes in, or timeline jumping comes in, or that kind of stuff. And there's lots of different ways you can phrase it, but that deals a lot with the line of fate, which usually parallels the lifeline. And you can actually see usually at certain points in times in between the lifeline and the line of destiny or the line of fate or the line of ancestry, there's an X. And so it's like that's the point in time where you're supposed to make your quantum jump, do your timeline shift. Because sometimes like we do have to have the family, we do have to have the kids. Like before I did this, I worked in surgery as a scrub and I learned all about microbiology and transference and sterile fields. And because I have that background knowledge, I now understand perfectly how spiritual and energetic transference works.
All right.
It was like one of those feathers I needed in my cap to actually complete my quantum jump to fulfill my karmic contract. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So now we're going to kind of move on a little bit to, I know a lot of people are already very familiar or wanting to get familiar, but another tool that Geoffrey uses is tarot and oracle cards. But
Very much so.
he has some really, really cool tarot decks. Definitely different off the wall, some of them, I want to say.
Thank you for recognizing that. I appreciate you very much on that.
But I mean, in a good way, you know.
Yeah.
And really, though, what I'm also noticing is as more and more people are starting to like pick up tarot decks and things like that, it's almost kind of like a mirror of themselves as
Mhm.
well, in a way. So coming to my first question, how can the tarot act a mirror for our current path and help us make more empowered, confident choices in our lives?
Good question. Tarot is an excellent tool to step outside of ourselves and see what's happening around us.
Mm-hmm.
Who will not lie to you?
It'll call you out on your
Exactly.
bullshit.
And then and this is where people get freaked out about the death card or the devil card.
Mm.
You know what? Life goes up and down and all around. There's good and bad things in it. Tarot is like if you've got a toxic relationship in your life or you're working in a toxic environment, the devil card is gonna pop out.
Mm.
You know, and that's a high level of toxicity. And the death card might come out with that too. So you need to end that relationship or you need to like quit that job.
Mm.
Like death in tarot very rarely means actual death.
Right.
And the few times it actually has warned the person that someone's going to be leaving, and they kind of already knew.
Yeah, they already knew it.
And
Yeah.
that's one of the things that some people kind of come in and get freaked out about tarot. They're like, I don't want to know anything bad. I'm like, you probably already know it if it's there.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of what tarot is for is validation and verification for things we're already thinking and feeling, but we're like, am I a crazy person or am I just making stuff up? Tarot's the ones like, no, you are not.
Yeah.
Or yes, you are. And so
Or get out of your own way,
exactly.
which is like 90% of what happened. Get out of
Exactly.
your own.
Overthinking it, move forward, focus on this, not this. And so again, like tarot is one of these awesome tools that allows you to step outside of yourself and see what's happening around you from outside perspective. There's no such thing as a negative card in tarot.
Mhm.
Kind of, it's like you and I both know that the world isn't full of valleys of unicorns and rainbows and fluffy bunnies that poop glitter and Skittles and stuff.
It'd be cool if they did, though.
And don't eat the Skittles.
They're not real Skittles, guys.
No, they are not. No, they are not. Kind of in that it's like, but in that it's like tarot is also another, like, it's not just for like doing like a whole spread. Like I get a lot of clients that come in and they're like, they've got very specific questions.
Hmm.
And like I use tarot to give them answers. Like I've worked with people and done just a basic tarot spread with them and had them call me back up like 2-3 months later. Like, Geoffrey, I got 3 different job offers now because I quit my job that tarot told me to do. And I have no idea which one I'm supposed to take. I'll do a mini spread for each job offer.
Right.
And they're like, you nailed the energy of each interview. I know exactly which one I'm taking.
Hmm.
I've had people call me up. I'm like, I got 3 different places I want to move. And I like pulled out the energy. I'm like, this is not going to be like the friendships that I think you want. Like, you know what? That's it. Everybody told me that I already moved, they've said.
Yeah.
It's like you can really pick up on things. So it's a great tool for people that want to come in and like, you don't have to come in with specific questions, but if you want to come in with specific questions, I'm very clairvoyant. I can very much, but you give me a little, I can give you a lot back,
Yeah.
especially with tarot. And you're like that too.
Yeah, definitely. And also too, like it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts when people come in and they go, I want you to tell me what the answers are. I mean, honestly though, it's like that's not what this is for.
Very, very.
I really feel like a lot of people think tarot is going to be predicting the future and telling them what is set in stone exactly. And I don't think they're realizing that we are actually picking up and feeling the energy in that moment. Everything that you have going on in that monkey mind of yours is showing up in the cards.
And here's the other thing, like,
Really?
yeah, I can tap into people's spirit guides very easily. Like, it's like I could be like, oh, you're going to get really big into ceramics next year, like making pottery and stuff like that. But like, that doesn't even sound like me. Like, no, I'm talking to your future self through time, and that's where you end up. But it's like you could want us to tell you what you're supposed to do, but you won't believe it unless you come to that conclusion on your own.
Right. Exactly.
And so a lot of times spirit guides won't let certain things come through. Or they were like, I can't pick up on it because they need you to figure this out on your own.
Right.
And that's where sometimes people get upset a little
You
bit.
have to go through the experience to really realize what it was or what it's going to be.
Or what you actually want.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Because again, it's almost kind of like with tarot, it's not necessarily, again, predicting the future. It's kind of more aligning you with the better energetic potential.
It's like it can pick up on where the dominoes are now.
Right.
And how they may possibly fall.
Right.
But things can branch off into different directions very easily with tarot. And here's the thing, like, I do want to say there has been a few very rare occasions where some messages have come through with something very specific.
Yes, that has happened as well.
It can happen, but it is. I like the movie.
Yeah. No.
And I think you know the story. I had a woman at the end of a reading who was a couple's reading there with her husband, and she was like, "Do my spirit guides have any messages for me?" And I'll never forget. I just screamed at her. I'm like, "Start baking!" And she was like, "Oh, I've never baked a day in my life." And I'm just like, that's just what I heard. Take it with a grain of salt. Come to find out, I'm reading for her mother-in-law and her niece a year later, and she has a porkside bakery, and she's making good money out of it now. Because she started off making sourdough bread.
Right.
And the family loved it. She just kept on baking, and she had completely forgotten I had screamed that there. It was actually her family that had reminded her, didn't the psychic tell you to start baking? And so sometimes like things, that's the other thing, like, especially with tarot too, it may not resonate right now.
Right. It might not make sense in the moment. but
But you're gonna have like a whoa moment later on down the road. And like I have faith in my skills and the other skills of the people that I work with that that's what's happened.
mm,
It's just some people are a little impatient. And usually, if you are your spirit guides, are definitely gonna teach you that lesson.
yeah, yeah. If anything, guys, don't come in and be mean. Okay? Like we're human too, damn it.
Yeah.
Human. Just saying. So now we're gonna kind of move on to crystals. Jeffrey does work quite a bit with crystals. He does have larger pieces that he does have on display on his table. Like if you're sitting down with him in a session, he also uses them to do energy clearings just to have you hold during your session because maybe you just need something from that crystal. And so we're going to kind of kill the stigma of crystals are just rocks and don't actually do anything because they do, especially with your energy, your intent as well. So, how do crystals specifically work their magic with you or with other people?
Everything that we see is made of light, frequency, and vibration, including us, including everything around us.
Hmm.
Crystals and certain rocks, it takes certain frequency and vibration and light to make them grow in the forms and patterns and colors and ways that they do. Crystals and rocks work very, very, very similar to tuning forks. It's like Sedona's a huge, monstrous tuning fork that people come here and that's why you quit your job. That's why you end relationships that's not good. That's why you move out. That's why
Or
you
you
do
have just more clarity in general about
exactly to
things.
what you
Yeah.
want for yourself because just coming into Sedona, the rocks and the energy here works as a tuning fork to align you to your best and highest self. Like I got my power three crystals that I work with everybody in every reading in every way. It starts off with amethyst. Amethyst balances the physical, emotional, and spiritual bodies. It's also Windex for our third eye chakra. It also helps us put clear and positive intentions out. It's
Hmm.
also great to prevent against psychic or spiritual attack on the simplest level, other people's negative and emotion and things like thoughts that we could all pick up on from time to time.
Hmm.
When you're balancing that physical, emotional, and spiritual, you don't really notice the negative Nelly of the David Downers around you as much.
Right.
Okay. In that, so just by keeping or like amethyst necklace or keeping a piece of amethyst or even like little beaded bracelets, maybe 12 or $18 beaded bracelets, it's a tuning fork inside your aura. And so if you're out of balance in one of those areas, just by having a piece of amethyst in your pocket, on your wrist, around your neck, it will do what its frequency and vibration alone will help bring those things back into balance. So, and each rock or crystal has its own unique frequency that it can help you realign to for your best and highest self. So another stone that I work with a lot, which is a great stone for people that work in healthcare, is clear quartz or Lumerian clear quartz. It's basically like Dawn dish soap or oily water, but low vibration and negative energy is for your aura. You come home from work, you hold your clear quartz, you don't think about the idiot that made you mad all day at work.
Hmm.
Allows you to let that go. And then the one that completes the alchemist trifecta for me is black tourmaline. I love all tourmaline, but black tourmaline is probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Black tourmaline is basically a little negative, it's like a black hole for negative energy. It just sucks it up before it can even get into your aura. So that's a really good one to have like right by the doorway of your home, but pull up anything negative so you can't bring it into the house. It also works exceptionally well with the root chakra. The root chakra is the lowest of the seven chakras. It's one of those primary needs of safety, security, shelter, and clarity. So, like scientific fact, every tree you see out in nature, for however high and how wide that tree is built up, is exactly how far down, how wide its root system needs to be to support it.
Hmm.
So when you have like 40 different irons in the fire, so to speak, you pull a lot of energy up all the way to the root chakra. Makes you feel like that top heavy tree of the storm of life. Nervous, anxious, stressed, angry, uncertain of our choices and direction. That's a root chakra issue. That is a grounding issue. Black
Yes.
tourmaline is the stone that pulls that energy back down to your root chakra, turns the 40 things on your plate into 4, and says, "MA, start with this one."
Yeah.
And so I refer to black tourmaline, clear quartz, and amethyst as the alchemist trifecta because they ground, clear, and balance energy. It's like the perfect foundation for me to start a psychic reading with, or just how to be every single day.
Yeah. I totally get that. So that's going into my next question here. How can we, or people in general, our listeners, how can we all intuitively choose the right crystal for what we need in that moment, for what we're just needing for support. How,
Shockingly enough, it's actually very easy.
if you're listening to intuition,
And that's you don't, and that's your solar plexus chakra. That's your gut. That's your instincts. That's your intuition. And kind of like how it works out is like you can almost never pick the wrong rock. Kind of thing that like how I do like crystal readings and at the beginning of all my readings, it's basically like people are in awe about how I read them perfectly just by watching them have a few pick a few crystals. And so kind of in that it's about tapping into your solar plexus chakra. And
right?
it's like you don't even have to tap into it. Okay, in that it's like I walk by a rock or a crystal going, "Oh my God, I love the way that twinkles in the light." And I'm like,
It's
"Wait,
so
what?"
sparkly.
But I do. Your gut, your solar plexus chakra use color, texture, twinkle, whatever like you like to bring that like I like to say like rocks and crystals are like glasses of lemonade you didn't know you needed after working outside on a hot day.
Yeah.
It's like you go inside, all of a sudden you see a glass of lemonade, you're like, I didn't realize how thirsty wasn't I saw that. When you start working with rocks or crystals, the cool thing about it is like you don't have to overthink it. Just by wearing like the little beaded bracelets can make a difference. I have probably about a dozen rocks in my pockets right now. Maybe not a dozen, but close to it. Some of them are bigger than others, and some of them are small. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what you
But I constantly, but but it's like, and I switch them out based
Mhm.
on what's going on. I also put them out in the full moon to charge. I also have a big piece of smoky quartz that I put them on to clear their energy at. And so it's kind of like I constantly kind of change them out because it also changes my frequency as well based on
Mhm.
the rocks that I have me. It offers me better spiritual protection too.
Mhm.
But the other thing you can do is you can do crystal grids with different rocks and crystals. Use like the cube of Metatron, which you're going to see when we do the crystal casting here. It's like you put certain crystals on certain points and you can actually use them to generate power. You can use them to do a focus grid. You can use them as a protection grid. You can use them as a good luck grid. You can use them as a romance grid. If you're a peace of mind grid, there's so many different ways you grid that you can do out there.
Mhm.
And what's one of the things that I really like about working with crystal grids in that aspect is that it's not like performing witchcraft. It's not like performing spells. You're basically setting up an energetic pattern that draws energy from Mother Earth and the universe to promote like energy through that lens of what you're looking for. And so it's a really non-scary way for people to like get into working with energy without thinking that they might be calling in like negative energies or entities and things like that.
Right.
It's just kind of it's very different from that. Although there's lots of different kinds of witchcraft and alchemy. I'm an alchemist myself. Like there is certain things the crystals can enhance those ceremonies and those rituals.
Right. And it is scientifically proven too that like quartz, for instance, so clear quartz actually has a vibration to it. And a lot of the crystals in general that also come from, the earth have a vibration already within them. And then when you're working with them, that's when you are setting that intention, you're putting more of that energy into the crystal and it'll amplify everything that you're doing to work with it as well. So we're going to get into a sample of how one of the ways Geoffrey uses crystals and stones as far as like readings. So he's going to do a stone casting for me. And do you want me to ask a question or are we just going to kind of keep it open?
We can just keep it open for right now because that's
Okay.
when I do this with a lot of clients is they mostly don't have questions. It's just how I'm picking up my energy. And like I do one thing, like I do want to say it's kind of shocking to me. Surprisingly enough, for certain people, there is just as many taboos about working with crystals as there are with tarot.
Yes. Yes.
And it's just like,
Fortunately, yeah.
yes, can a dark practitioner put something in a crystal to like do something? Yes. Does that happen very often? No. Does it
No.
happen when you're going into crystal stores? Like next to freaking absolutely freaking never. And usually as soon as you pick up something like that, it feels off.
Mm-hmm.
And if it feels off, solar plexus chakra, it is, put it down, it is a rock.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
So and if you got more questions about that, feel free to let us know in the comments if you have any questions about taboos and crystals.
Yes.
Be
Yes.
more than happy to like take those on for you.
I think I'm wanting to get an episode together of taboos and things like that as far as with spirituality.
I would love to be on that episode.
Aw,
All right, what I need you to do over here, my dear MA,
okay.
this is the bag. You can't look in it.
Okay.
You can shake it around. You can move things around. You can do all this. I need you to pull out 13 crystals, start in the center, and just make a spiral going out. And I will help to keep track.
Okay. That one just got stuck to me. So please get them tiger eyes. Tiger's eyes are good stones for Leos, y'all. I'm glad I know how to make a spiral.
You're doing pretty good.
Where am I at?
You're correct.
Wow. Okay.
That was perfect. Okay. All right. So starting off here, this is like almost like Shiva Lingam. And so with this is a lot about like you're opening up a lot right now for yourself. And kind of like with all the changes that are coming at the psychic center, it's just kind of like you're allowing things to flow easily. And kind of with that, that's kind of what this is representing for you right now. So like you're opening yourself up, you're tapping with your spirit guides, you're allowing things to bloom and blossom naturally.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also with the blue lace agate here, like you're definitely using your throat chakra, but kind of like you have that calm and balance in between your physical world and your spiritual world as well. And you're getting that guidance. But you also know because of the work that we do here, people are always doing like spells and casts, curses and hexes and jinxes for what we do here. So I think it's like the tiger's eye. It's like I like that you have some protection right at the front of the spread.
Right.
Because it's like you know you need to do your protections, you know you need to do your grounding, you know you need to do your clearing exercises. Okay? And that makes it a lot easier for your spirit guides to keep an eye on you.
Mhm.
But I think you've been working very hard with the Sumatran amber here. Because this is like a detoxifier.
Yeah.
It can also bring in love, but Sumatran amber is a really big detoxifier. Okay, and it's like you're getting ready to take some time off here at the end of the month. That's like that makes sense.
Yeah.
Represents that because you're kind of starting to very much compartmentalize things for yourself between work and home and family and husband and daughter and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're getting burnt out and you got to keep things in their specific place. And that's why this chevron amethyst is here because you're trying to keep balance with all those things right now.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's like you are attracting good things to you. This is serpentine. I really like snake references in spirituality because snakes shed the old skin and stepping into the new. And like we have talked about, like last year at the center was a lot of intention. Like we need to do this, we should do that. This is the year where we're creating a lot.
It was also a big year of shedding last year too. I
Exactly.
mean, we're in the year of the snake, and in Chinese zodiac, I am a snake. So it all aligned up. And now I'm waiting to reap the rewards of all the hard work I've done. I think it's at the end of June is when, the planets are lining up and Leos and Aquariuses finally have their breakthrough with
And
a lot of
I'm an
things.
Aquarius in this
Yeah.
room, so like dun dun dun.
Yes.
Powers your but like also last year was the closing out of a 9-year cycle.
Right.
And when you close out a 9-year cycle, the last year always sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Because all the stuff you didn't deal with in the previous 8 years, your spirit guide's like, here you go.
Yeah.
But anyway, so serpentine, how I like to describe serpentine, it basically turns your aura into a super high vibrational merry-go-round
Mm-hmm.
where the low vibrational assholes can't find the right timing to buy a ticket and get on the ride.
Right.
It creates divine timing, right place, right person. Because you're in the process of like doing some healing for yourself right now. So this one here is healer. This is the stone that heals the healers. Like this is a great stone for anybody that works in healthcare, doctors, nurses, like surge, med techs, all that kind of stuff. Surge techs have even people that do Reiki, massage, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is it's important for us to protect ourselves in the kind of work that we do.
Mm-hmm.
Because what we do is we shed a lot of toxicity off of people. And sometimes if we don't have any psychic or empathic shielding up, that energy can end up in our aura, which is why if you work in healthcare or some of these places, it's like why you can't get people out of your head for days, weeks, even months, because their energy is still in your aura because you haven't cleared it. What Healer does, where you're working with your clients or your patients, actually puts all their energy in an auric bubble so you can work on them, heal them, but that energy doesn't end up in your aura. It pops up when they're driving down the freeway where it can't cause any harm. So, but I think this also having to do is like you're expanding your healing abilities, like you're like we're evolving based on the changes that we've made, and that's why the lapsus blues is here. So this is blue, so that's definitely working with the throat chakra. But this is a very powerful stone for people to work with that have psychic and empathic abilities, or if you're trying to like enhance the one that you think you might have. Because here at the Psychic Center, we definitely believe that everybody's got psychic and empathic abilities to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Kind of like anybody can start off at a JoJo as a white belt and then become a black belt. You can develop. This is a great stone about developing spiritual skills.
Okay.
And so it's like you're definitely tapping into that as well. And then we've got a little piece of obsidian here, which is saying, just reminding you to keep grounded and that energy to stay clear, along with some more. Actually,
Is that 2 chevron amethysts there?
no, this one is the petalite, actually.
Okay.
So the petalite is the perfect stone for overthinkers and over warriors. Have you ever heard of a mood stabilizing drug called lithium?
Yeah.
There's the actual mineral lithium in the petalite.
Oh.
Like the combat veterans that I work out with out here always go for the petalite.
Mm-hmm.
It's also like the single moms with 3 kids.
Yeah.
It's like they always go for the lepidolite because the gears are just constantly turning. So there's kind of like a little reminder here to ground your energy, to kind of calm your energy, keep the gears from turning. Because your spirit guides are trying to talk. But this one here is indigo Gabo, and most often referred to as Merlinite, like the wizard Merlin. This is a stone that helps us unlock our unconscious. It helps unlock psychic empathic abilities. So there's definitely a theme coming here towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
In that it's also a stone that helps us connect with past lives. Because that's one of the things I really like about doing past life recall is that people see how badass they were in a previous life
Yeah.
and how capable they are and what skills they can it's like muscle memory you're familiar with.
Yeah.
There is spiritual energetic memory where you can actually unlock a skill like you did in a past life.
Yeah.
Like I had this was talking with this woman and I'm like, I see you as a Mongolian like cavalry archer.
Right.
And she's like, I ride horse. I've always wanted to shoot archery, but I've never done it.
Mm-hmm.
And she started doing cavalry archery off of horseback. And in 6 months, she was competing against people who have been doing it for decades and beating them because she knew how to hold her knees, how well she wanted to place her fingers on the bow. And she basically was unlocking it by doing it from being an Mongolian archer in a past life.
Muscle memory, baby.
Spiritual muscle memory,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I call it. And so this one here is fuchsia. So green, spiritual tip or hack. Another thing that makes things very easily about working with crystals, especially if you know about chakras, you can literally just pick a stone or a crystal that is the same color as a chakra, and it automatically will help you tap into that chakra's energy.
Yeah, keep it simple, y'all.
Spirituality is not as complicated as people want to make it out to be.
Yeah.
Like we're the ones that complicate the bejesus out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But this is about you opening your heart space. This is about you kind of like allowing good things to come in and having that positive attitude, which you definitely do have. But sometimes when we got a lot going on, it can be hard to do that. So this is a stone that just reminds us that our higher forces are out there for us. You can ask for help, you can ask for guidance, but just to keep our heart space open so we can work with the vulnerable emotions in the heart chakra, which are trust, faith, hope, those ones. So in the last one that we have here, I really like for you, which is convoluted jasper. So red works with the root chakra. This convoluted jasper here, it's got the little lines into it. I know we talked about words compartmentalizing certain things with the chevron amethyst here. Convoluted jasper helps you do it in a very healthy way. It helps you leave the family at the family door, leave the center at the center door, so you can you can move on and leave things behind and move into different phases of your life without carrying everything with you.
Right.
So, short and a long stick here. You are very open to your spirit to this empowers because you're speaking with truth, protecting energy, properly detoxifying yourself. So you got to things compartmentalize a little bit right now, but it's working for you because you're attracting the things in divine time that you need. So just make sure you're healing your energy and opening up the gifts. Little reminder, stay grounded and don't overthink stuff because you are magical. And go down here, your heart space is open and everything's going to look out fine to put everything in the right place.
Well, I like that. No, that was actually pretty spot on though. And especially the one with the heart opening aspect. It's pretty funny. I was doing something with my mom last week and we were working with certain angels.
Okay.
And I called in a specific angel to work with me and it has to do with the heart. So then that's pretty crazy how that's coming up a week later after me and my mom were doing stuff with angels and it's showing up. So see guys, it shows up when it's going to show up.
See what I said? You can never pick the wrong rock.
Right.
It's like I do this with people and like it all fits. I'm not, it always does. And like unless somebody's in denial about themselves and what's going on with themselves, like then I can't help you anyway.
Right, right. Well, Geoffrey, before we sign off here on this episode, is there any message you wish everyone knew about any of the tools in divination that you use or just in general? Is there anything that you want to leave the people with today?
I really do like working with past life recall with people. It's amazing how things come through and how, like, when you're working with past life recall, it's almost shocking how if you work with someone in a past life and like you've worked well together, how your spirit guides will line them up again.
Mm.
Like I was doing a past life recall for this gentleman and his friend, a female friend. They weren't married. Like she was married. He's like, we go out and do spiritual stuff. His wife's not into it. But I was just like, I was picking up on him being a part man for the library in Alexandria. The library in Alexandria was created by Alexander the Great. He did because he would ship all the written language and knowledge that he was, the places he was capturing to the library in Alexandria. And so basically, he was one of the cartmen that followed Alexander the Great from Egypt all the way to India is what I was telling him. And I'm like, that's where you two met the first time. And I'm like, and you went back from India all the way to Egypt. And she was like, why would I do that? And I was just like, well, you told you that they would teach you how to read and write. You could get on the cart fast enough. And both their mouths just dropped.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? She's like, you don't understand. That's exactly what he told me when he was in the Peace Corps in India to get me on the plane to come to the United States back in the 70s.
Interesting.
And I have had more than one of those pop up where people were like figured out why they like certain things. It's like sometimes more if you're like an herbal or a healer or things like that,
Hmm.
it's shocking how you like work as a nurse or a doctor in this lifetime. Or like if you're like if you work as a stonemason, you build like bridges and castle walls and stuff, how you're an architect in this lifetime. And so sometimes when people are looking for direction, that's a good way for people to kind of see what you're capable of in past life to hopefully unlock and do things in this lifetime. But as far as like a straight up message for just people out there, don't overthink it.
Hmm.
Focus on the light. Focus on the things that are going to make you happy. It's very shocking to see how many people that come into our rooms on a regular basis, and when we ask them what would make them happy for themselves first, they're absolutely clueless.
Yep, they have no clue.
It's kind of like that is a lot of manifestation and a lot of attraction, which is what I teach a lot of people about.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a feeling we're going to start seeing more people who are on their path, kind of looking for more specific things coming in.
Oh yeah,
I'm
definitely.
really looking forward to also working with those people. Trust yourself, trust your instincts. We as human beings are a lot more capable of healing and taking care of ourselves than modern society has given us credit for, a lot of different ways.
Definitely.
And so if you want to learn more about that, definitely come in and talk to someone at the sect and see if we can get you on your pilgrimage, get you on your spiritual journey, figure out what your actual destiny is and goes to being here. Because everybody's got one. Hopefully we can get you in a one and done so you don't have to do any repeats.
Right. So pay attention the first time, guys. Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Geoffrey, for coming on here and getting into all the nitty-gritty of that. Again, guys, you can always book with Geoffrey at Crystal Magic Psychic Center, either on the website, give us a call. He's there. You're there 5 days a week, pretty much. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. 5 days a week, y'all. And also, we all do Zoom, phone, Google Meet, all of that stuff. So we have multiple ways of getting in touch with everybody.
Thanks for
So
having me on the show again, my dear. Looking
yes,
forward to coming back again soon. And
yes, yes.
deuce, peace. Keep fighting the beast. You'll have a great rest of your day. And hopefully we'll be hearing from a bunch of you soon.
All right, guys, stay curious, stay magical, and stay you.
Namaste.
Hey everyone, MA here again. I'm just kind of coming on to do a little recap, also just kind of give my perspective of things as well as somebody who is constantly around this type of environment, the people, the tools, all of that. So my takeaway here with sitting with Geoffrey is very interesting, especially with palmistry, how your lines can change with your decisions, changing your destiny, changing things you thought you could never change. You guys have all the power in the world to do that. It's free will. Nobody can tell you what to do unless it's you, really. I mean, obviously, as a kid, you got to listen to your parents, you got to listen to your boss and things like that. But for the most part, when it comes to actually making decisions for yourself, you really need to believe you are always making the right decision. I tell my clients all the time, you're never making a wrong decision. Are you making a decision that might be a little bit harder and have more lessons along the way? Probably, but there's never really truly a wrong decision for you. Like, really. I mean, unless, you're going to be stupid and make stupid decisions, but hey, we're all human, right? And then a lot of like the tarot too. I work a lot with tarot myself, and again, like how Jeffrey was explaining, there's really no bad card in tarot. Tarot will call you out on your bullshit. It'll let you know when things really aren't meant to be, or maybe to show you that you need to start looking at it from a different perspective as well. I love it when tarot calls my clients out because it's just like, I told you, I told you. And a lot of the times, a lot of people already know. They already know. And it's starting to get to a point too within a lot of the tarot sessions that not just myself or Jeffrey, but other readers here at the center too are starting to realize people don't know the difference between their intuition and their ego. So I'm going to say this for everybody in the back, okay? Your ego is loud. Ego is fear. It's anxiety. It's every feeling in your body at one time. It's very overwhelming. And when it comes to your intuition, this is more quiet. This is more, I'm really feeling the pull to do this. I'm scared, but I just know within me that I'm able to do this and move forward or make the right decision. So keep that in mind, guys, when it comes to your intuition. Intuition is quiet, it's soft, it's like you just know. It's so hard to explain unless you experience yourself, which is what a lot of the spirituality stuff is like you have to have your own experiences to really truly understand what it is that you're getting from it or learning from it too. A lot of us are old souls here, so we're remembering. We're remembering why we're here, what we've done before, and how to do it again. So, which is also really cool getting into the crystal aspect of all of this with Jeffrey too, is again, crystals have been around since the planet has existed. So crystals are older than us. And are there manufactured crystals and more polished up crystals and things like that? Yes, there is. But for the majority of like the raw crystals and some of the tumbled stones and things like that, there's still energy and vibration within it. Picking up that crystal that you're being drawn to that crystal for a reason. Trust that. And again, crystals can also be a wonderful tool to help bring out energies that maybe you just needed help bringing out in the first place that were already there, you know? So we're all learning, we're all growing. Nobody knows everything. And the ones who claim they do are all in their ego, which is also, another thing that we'll be getting into down the road with more episodes as well. But thank you guys so much for listening, tuning in, watching. We do have fan mail available through Buzzsprout. You guys can leave comments on Spotify, on YouTube. If you guys are wanting something like a specific topic that you want us to cover, please let me know. I want to start involving everybody because really this is a platform for voices to be heard, to learn, to show you that again, spirituality is not complicated, nor it should be. And also that don't overthink everything. I know we're human and I know our brains are wired to constantly kind of be in that, I got to take care of myself mode. But also at the same time, we all have to just start learning to trust ourselves now, especially within all of the chaos in the world with everything that's going on. You have to trust yourself first before you can trust anybody else. And that in itself is going to show you how strong you and your intuition is. So, guys, until next time, again, stay curious, stay magical, stay you. I'm signing off.